know that we've been working here on the channel, if you've been around the channel recently, on the Wave 3 Deluxes for Age of the Primes. We got a couple done. We still have a couple to go. But we're going to take a little caveat this week. We're just going to take a little break from that Wave 3 with something else. This is Studio Series Widow, KSI Widow, or as I prefer to think of her as, Widowmaker. Though I wouldn't be angry if we got a kind of a different concept art version for Widowmaker. I was really pumped for this. I like the idea of more female Decepticons, and I love the idea of this character. And while I'm not a car guy, I do love me a McLaren. How well did she work out? Let's find out in the latest GotBot True review. Hey one, hey all, welcome back to the channel. I'm your host, your most humble of hosts, Dennis Moulton, aka GotBot. As always, please like, comment, share, of course, subscribe, and while you are at it, light 'em up, baby. Hit the notification bell, please. Helps me out a ton, let you know when content of all sorts goes up here on the channel. Check out Machinery of Man, The Everything Factor, all the groups that I'm either a mod or an admin for, as well as all of my social media links. All of that's in the description down below. Also in the description down below, and if you're in a position to help the channel to grow, you can use the donate link, check us out on Patreon, see what we have to offer to you through spring, or of course hit the join button at any given time and become a channel member. And like I said, I was really pumped for this. I thought that she'd fit in nicely with the Dreds. I'd also heard that her transformation borrowed heavily from the fantastic Transformers Prime Viacon. How good is she? We're going to find out when we head over to the table and take a closer look at her. And yes indeed, today we dive into the Transformers Studio Series Age of Extinction Concept Art KSI Widow, which is, long story short, a concept art version of the character that was cut, Widowmaker. Though her McLaren alt mode did appear in Age of Extinction after the KSI stuff was brought to life by Galvatron, and I think she was driving toward Hong Kong or wherever it was that they were at. I don't remember where they were at, but she was driving toward there with the group, but then you didn't really see her during the battle. Now, to be fair, when I think of Widow, or Widowmaker as I'm going to call her, this isn't the concept art that I think of, and there was a number of pieces of concept art that were devised for her, specifically by Steve Jung, and I hope I'm saying his name right, and if I'm not, I sincerely apologize. There was an updated design that he did that was like very feminine, and I really like this. This one was based kind of on one where her hands could detach and become weapons, and that's what this most closely resembles, but she was also red because she wasn't intended to be the McLaren originally. We'll get up to all that in just a little bit. As it is, we have this robot mode here. I feel like with that head sculpt and whatnot, she would fit in with the Dreds real nice. Maybe even lead the Dreds. The car mode down here. Alt mode over, robot mode, I'm sorry, over here. This is just the same art wrapping around. And on the back, we have both of her modes. By the way, for those that are so inclined to be specific, her intended alt mode was supposed to be the one used for Stinger. This alt mode is specifically a McLaren MP4-12C. And in case you're interested, Stinger was a Pagani Huayra. I have no idea how to say this. It's a foreign exotic car. It was supposed to be her. So she's not even the right alt mode here, but I think that's okay since she wasn't actually in the movie. And the nice part is if we did get a more accurate, more feminized version of Widowmaker, well, you could always still go back to just calling this Widow. Plus, I'm kind of happy having more female Decepticons. That said, it's going to be an uphill climb for her because, honestly, she already feels super dated and super overpriced. She comes with this two-sided sheet of instructions. It's okay, it's alright. She's similar to the Transformers Prime Viacons, which were fantastic. But I feel like they downscaled her, downsized her, made her too small for the design, and it's not as robust and not as fun and not as solid as what we got with the Prime Viacons. Here she is next to Stinger and one of the Dreds, just so you can get an idea of how she would kind of mix with the Dreds. The reason I have Stinger here is so you can see just how different Like his car mode is from her car mode. And keep in mind, she was supposed to be him. And as far as the Dreds go, again, just looking at her, she looks kind of sinister and buggy. I feel like she could like lead the Dreds or something. I don't know. I feel like that's where she fits in. Maybe it's just me. And though I didn't show them separate, she comes with these 2 arm blasters. And you know why I didn't show them separate? Because honestly, once they're off her arm, they're a pain in the butt to put back on. They show in the instructions that you're supposed to like push them on over. And I'm like, okay, but it's not elegant. It's a bit of a pain in the, it's a pain in the back, it's a pain in the back, pain in the neck, pain in the butt, whatever. But they will go on, and once they're on, they're secure. It's just lining them up is a nuisance. In terms of her look, I don't know. I guess we kind of got to give it a 10. She wasn't in there. She's based on like bits and pieces of different design elements. She's kind of her own unique new thing. So by default, she gets a 10. But when I think of Widowmaker, this isn't what I think of. I think of the more feminized later sketch work. And I would like a version that looks like that. So yeah, 10 by default. The articulation, this is where things start to really go downhill for her and feel very dated. We have a head that's on a ball joint that goes left, right, kind of looks up and down. The hair that she has is a bit of a hindrance, not a lot, but a little bit. The arms are also on ball joints. They go all the way out to the side. They can go all the way around. We get an elbow to maybe slightly over 90 degrees or 90 degrees. Bicep swivel, which is fine. Nothing at the wrist. Really disappointing. For the price that these things are nowadays, not having a wrist, really disappointing here. Then we get down, no waist. Also really disappointing. The hips are on ball joints. And watch this. That's how much tolerance that has. This one, not much better. Now, she stands like a champion, like an absolute solid champion. But that's only because everything is folded into her leg. I think with so much mass and weight in her leg, you should have made the thighs bigger and they should have been hinge and swivel, not ball joint. Leg forward. That one holds okay forward. Leg forward. Nope, it falls all the way down. Leg back, it holds. Leg back, that holds. Thigh swivel, thigh swivel. Knee to 90 degrees. You can move these pieces however you want to move them. We get down here, nothing at the foot, no ankle tilt. This is articulation that feels very 2015, 2016, 2017. I would have been fine with it and scored it at like an 8, 8.5, when this would have been more like $15, $16. When you take the limited articulation and the poor tolerances and the fact that she's only a pathetic, measly, tiny 64 grams for a deluxe, this is wildly overpriced. This is, here in Canada at $36.99, this is about 3 times too much. In the US, if you're paying, say, $25 or whatever for this, you should be paying about 12 bucks, 10 to 12 bucks. Anything more for this is insulting. This is a 2015, 2016 release. I would have been cool getting this when we actually got Age of Extinction, and they were $14.99. 15 bucks Canadian for this seems about right. $36.99, don't buy it for that. Do not wait for it to go on sale. It's not worth it for that. You're going to be disappointed. Let's do the transformation, which I'm going to tell you now doesn't get better. In terms of a score, by the way, for the articulation, no ankle, no wrist, no waist, poorly toleranced hips, 6. 6. Yeah, she stands great, and you can score some poses, but she's not going to be able to kick anything or kick anyone. It would be hard to animate her walking or anything. And if you're wondering, like, hey, by the way, if you put her arms out and you want her to be, like, somewhat dynamic, can she do it? I mean, if you're delicate, I guess, kinda, a little bit, but like that, I guess, but like she's struggling with dynamic poses because she's just not very good. She's really not. This is, I really like the idea of the character. I want it better. So Yeah, 6. A 6 and a 10. Right now she's getting an 8. Exceedingly average. But I'm telling you now, that 8's going to go down with the transformation. This should be as smooth and as nice as the Viacons, and it's not. So, we come here, and we can open these out to the side. We can kind of turn them a little. We can also take the armatures for the shoulders down. These armatures come down, and we can even push the head back. At first, that head was in here super duper tight, and I was scared to push it back. But now it's back. Cool. So all of that is there for now. Then we pull these pieces out on the side of the legs, and we kind of just bring them down around like that for now. Don't worry, we're going to get to it. The legs themselves, you come back here and open it out, open it out, open it out, and you guessed it, open it out. Very much like the Viacons, right? Very much like the Viacons. Same on the other leg. Open, 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 and open. And then it tells you in the instructions, oh, by the way, you can also fold up the toes if you haven't done that yet. Then it tells you in the instructions to put the legs together. It's a pain in the butt to put them together. It does not like the tab. It also tells you to snap all of this together. This is so thinned out and paper thin plastic that it's scary to try and do it, and it doesn't want to stay. We're going to take the back pieces here, we're going to try and put them together. Oh, it also says to put the 2 blasters in here, and the blasters do have little rectangular tabs that should go into slots here. 100% does not stay at all, in the slightest. Does not stay pegged in there at all. I don't remember the last time I encountered such a poorly toleranced transformer as Widow. And I got all of that put together. Do I believe for a second it's actually going to stay together? No. And you have to, when you put the 2 leg ones together, same back here, like they slide, they don't just snap, which, by the way, when you come back to robot mode, is also a huge pain in the butt to try and get apart again. In fact, starting to transform back to robot is no fun, but we'll talk about that when we get there. Bring this down and it tabs down over. Rotate this around, it tabs down over. You can also bring the whole head piece back and bring these arms in. I'm not even going to bother to put these down in the legs because honestly, they're only going to come off and make all of this process that much more difficult. We're going to bring this down on the side as well, and this down on the side as well, and these pieces now should be able to come down and stay there, and come down and stay there. And now, we should be able to, a la the Viacons, just push all of this down. The problem is, this section here does not like to go down a pass right here easily, and then these do not like to tab in up here easily. Let's see what happens this time without me having the junk in the legs. Oh, and if you didn't do it, you can also come back here and push down these 2 little peg pieces. And, yeah, this is where we're to. The arms don't want to stay there. There you go, I got one side down here. And now over here, trying to get this one down, which is always the one that's the even bigger pain. And I kind of got this side in now, right? There we go, I got that one down, I got this in. This door is in the way, that's down. I've got to adjust this window and door, but basically, boom, in the end, here you have Widowmaker in her, push that down too, in her alt mode, kinda, sorta. Let me solidify the couple of other things here. Now here we have the alt mode. I got everything pushed in. It's a gorgeous alt mode. I love that all of the translucent pieces are their own separate pieces for windows and stuff. I love the paint back here. I love all of the front. But the transformation is garbage. it should be as good and as wonderful as it is with the Viacons, and it's not. It's just not. Because they thinned out the plastic far too much. They took a great design, and if they had stuck with the 84 grams that a deluxe should be, the more robust plastic would help this. Thinning it out to a pathetic measly 64 grams did this no favors. Now that we have it in this alt mode, which by the way, the transformation is like a 2. I detest it. I dread doing it every time I have to face it. It's that bad. And I don't normally do this, but I'm very quickly going to try and transform it back, just so you can see, like, where do I begin here? Where do I even start? Because you would think it'd be as simple as popping the hood up and lifting it back, but it's not that simple, because where do you start to take this? There's nowhere to start to take this. So you would need something that helps you pop stuff like that. Like, it's not elegant. Yeah, I could do it, but it's not elegant. When I opened this back, by the way, I did put the blasters in here. There you go. That's how well they stayed pegged in. Not at all, not in the least. You're supposed to use, I'm pretty sure, this peg on the top here. Does nothing. If you want to try one of the smaller ones on the sides, you can. It's not going to help you. They will not stay in. Once we have this done, we should now be able to unpeg the door here and unpeg the door, you know, over. I'll peg that and lift all of that up. We're going to take that forward, and I'm going to bring the head all the way up and through. We're going to get these arms out to the side and fold. These down on the back again. But again, like, I'm doing it, but it's nothing fun or elegant about it. I'm bringing the shoulders up. They're not even clear how they come up. I can't even tell you if they actually peg in anywhere. They seem to hold once they're up, but like, it's just a mess. It's just a hodgepodge mess. By the way, I didn't mention this before, but the knee pads fold down and the instructions tell you to do it. I don't know why. I have no idea what the point is supposed to be of doing that. You have to slide. The legs now are held together. You gotta try and slide them apart and get the back. Look. Like, none of this. Look. It's just not enjoyable. This comes up and over. It says it's supposed to push in, but I don't know. I don't think that that's doing you any favors either. Once you get this far with it, now I don't even know if I'm in focus anymore. I'm sorry if I'm not, but like, this is just to show you what this is like in both modes, because I got news for you. I'm not getting another version of this if they reuse this mold. I really hate it. I mean, with a 2 for the transformation, the 6 or whatever that I was getting for articulation, and the 10 for the look, this is like a 5, maybe. It's something that I was super excited about. It's a character that I like the concept and the idea of, and the execution of this mold is an absolute failure. I'm so incredibly disappointed. If you can get this for like 10 bucks US, 15 bucks Canadian, cool, get it maybe, it's okay for that. If you're going to think about spending a full deluxe price on this, don't, because they're taking advantage of your desire to have new plastic, and it's as simple as that. This is a 2015 quality and stylistically designed figure that they're releasing for an inflated price in 2025, and it should be criminal. Overall score, the best I can give this is a 5. And here we are once again, and here she is, and what an abysmal disappointment. Really let down. Let's talk about what's bad first. I don't at all care for the lack of starting tabs to transfer her back, or transform her back from vehicle mode. I don't at all care for how much they thinned out the plastic in the legs, when at 64 grams, they could have thickened that plastic significantly more to make it more robust so that it tabbed together better and solidified better. The lack of mass here is really too bad. I don't know why they went back to ball jointed hips when a good chunk of her mass is in the leg. While this one over here is okay-ish, not out to the side. I mean, this one here is to the back, it's okay. I mean, to the side, that's abysmal. To the front, it's nothing. It doesn't fall off. You can't pull it off, but like she's not gonna get that many dynamic poses. This is everything that was fantastic about the Viacon mold, stripped down, with thinned out plastic, and it's like I said in the review. This feels like a $15 figure that should have come out in 2015, 2014 during the actual, 2016, 2017, maybe even, but like 8 or 10 years ago. It feels outdated. It feels too small. It feels less than. It feels like it was an afterthought. Don't get this for the full price. It's absolutely not worth it. It will be a disappointment. Even if your ball joint at the hip is tolerance better, I think that you would get this and say, it's patterned after the fantastic Viacon, but man, this is not the Viacon. I really hoped for more, wanted more, wished for more, and got far less. She's not a recommend for me, man. Let me know what you think about Widow. I appreciate you guys coming by, giving me some of your extremely valuable time. I do know how important it is to you. If you're in a position to help the channel to grow, you can use the donate link. Check us out on Patreon, see what we have to offer to you through spring, or of course hit the join button at any given time and become a channel member. While you are at it, hit the subscribe button, stick around and have some fun with us here on the channel, and don't forget, not for a moment, not for a second, that you right there, you do make a difference in the world, whether you feel it or not, whether you realize it or not. And I look forward to the next time that you and I get together to have another visit, either in the live streams on Thursday nights at the stop motion premieres, or the old fashioned way right here inside the videos.